Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Adela Egbetokun, PhD, MPM, members of the police management team, senior officers of the Nigerian Police Force, my distinguished honorable colleagues, good afternoon. It is both an honor and a privilege to lead my distinguished colleagues on this strategic working visit to the headquarters of the Nigerian Police Force. We are deeply appreciative of the warm reception extended to us and of the open door of collaboration your leadership continues to demonstrate. Inspector General, today's visit is not ceremonial, it is purposeful, it is strategic, and it is historic. Nigeria's downstream petroleum sector is the lifeblood of our national economy. Every liter of petrol delivered to a rural community, every tanker secured on our highways, every depot protected from sabotage translates directly into economic stability, social order, and national confidence. And at the heart of that stability stands the Nigerian Police Force. Let me begin by commending your leadership, particularly under your stewardship as Inspector General of Police. Since assuming office, you have demonstrated a clear understanding that national security and economic security are inseparable. In moments of potential economic disruption, your leadership has been steady and decisive. During the recent industrial tension surrounding the Dangote refinery and trade union actions, the Nigerian Police Force maintained nationwide law enforcement readiness to prevent breakdown of public order. You coordinated contingency security planning to safeguard the refinery and associated petroleum infrastructure. Critical crude supply lines, gas facilities, and refining operations were protected from disruption. Personnel were strategically deployed to prevent escalation into unrest or economic sabotage. Intelligence monitoring ensured that labor actions did not degenerate into blockade or violence. While negotiation took place at policy level, the stability required for dialogue was granted by the security architecture under your command. That is responsible leadership, that is proactive policing, and that deserves recognition. Distinguished officers, your tenure has also strengthened interagency collaboration and protection of our national energy assets. The partnership between the Nigerian Police Force and Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has become more coordinated and intelligence-driven. Joint operations against oil theft, pipeline vandalism, and illegal refining have intensified. Patrols around refineries, depot, tank farms, and pipeline corridors have become more strategic. Operational synergy with the military and custom has ensured infrastructure protection. Rapid response mechanisms have been strengthened to address threats against petroleum installations. We are aware that there exists an IGP Special Task Force on Petroleum and Illegal Bunkering, which specifically targets criminals attacking downstream infrastructure. This, we trust, will mitigate the incidences of vandalism and ensuring the stability of the petroleum product supply chain in the country. We commend the IGP for this bold initiative, as capacity building and operational integration across agencies have improved significantly. At this moment, which is one of the reasons why we are here, as private sector investment continues to grow in the downstream sector, with the inflow of investments in refineries, gas plants, and all manner of foreign investments in the downstream sector that are gradually turning Nigeria from an energy-dependent nation to an energy-producing nation. It becomes paramount and important that the police must also be fully prepared to ensure that these critical national assets and investments coming in are well protected. The more investors see that domestic and downstream infrastructure investments are protected, the more willing they will be to invest. Nobody will want to see their supply line, storage system, station, or plant taken over by miscreants. If that starts happening, investors' interest will begin to dwindle. However, investors' interest has grown so rapidly. This is mainly due to the PIA, which this National Assembly has passed, opening the floodgate for multiple investments flowing into downstream sector, as well as robust legislative oversight, which has made the NNPPRA more effective in its oversight function. All these have provided certainty for investors who are now trooping in. Legislative collaboration is critical in all this, and we are here today to plug the remaining gap, which is the security collaboration that will help consolidate all the gains that have been achieved in the downstream sector. These efforts are not abstract statistics. They translate into reduced product loss, safer communities, and stronger investors' confidence. Inspector General, sir, you have also demonstrated a commitment to securing petroleum supply routes to borderline and high-risk communities. Security presence along distribution corridors and highways has been reinforced. Border monitoring has curbed smuggling and diversion. Tanker movement to remote and vulnerable areas have been protected. Depot, pumping stations, and storage facilities are being secured in collaboration with sister agencies, and intelligence operations continue to safeguard supply chains from disruption. On this note, based on our findings from our oversight visit, we observed that some of the local distribution channel stations dispensing PMS and gas supplies in some of the war-torn communities have shut down due to fear of attack. This did not occur under your tenure, but over the past 5-10 years, this has also affected access to energy in those rural communities. We need the restoration of local police presence in those areas to build confidence so that petrol and gas stations in those communities can be restored and business activities can continue in those war-torn areas that are recovering from insurgents. Because when a rural filling station closes due to insecurity, it is not just a business that shuts down, it is mobility that is restricted, commerce that is slowed, farmers that are stranded, and communities that are economically isolated. So with the wonderful work we have done in helping to protect pipelines and ensure energy security, it is important for the police to create a temporary ad hoc desk focused on reopening and provision of security for filling stations and gas stations that were initially shut down due to insurgency hits. Make it a tax and use the next 1 or 2 years to ensure that, especially as we go into elections, remote filling stations that cannot operate because they were affected by insurgency are reopened and secured. Rural and local police should be given their marching orders to ensure that those local filling stations are reopened to provide access to quality energy for people in rural areas in line with Mr. President Renewed Hope agenda. Security in the downstream sector is therefore not merely about infrastructure, it's about dignity, access, and opportunity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the committee recognizes the extraordinary role your officers play daily, deterring pipeline vandalism, disrupting illegal refining network, protecting depot and tank farms, escorting petroleum movement during high-risk period, ensuring safety in host communities. Without security, there is no production. Without stability, there is no distribution. Without protection, there is no supply continuity. The link between the Nigerian police force and downstream petroleum sector is natural, essential, and undeniable. Our visit today is guided by clear objective to formally acknowledge and appreciate your indispensable role in safeguarding the downstream sector, to deepen institutional collaboration between the Nigerian police force and our municipal committee, to ensure enforcement capacity and reduce recurring disruption to petroleum infrastructure, to develop a structured roadmap for restoring fuel access in rural and vulnerable communities. We envision a long-term partnership built on dedicated joint task force for infrastructure protection, shared intelligence platform to track illegal refining and diversion routes, regular interagency operation involving NNPCL, NNDPRA, civil defense and community network, capacity building program to strengthen officers' understanding of the downstream operations, periodic strategic review between police leadership and the committee. I must also salute the police for the support they have given to the NNDPRA over the years. In the past, our regulators were attacked in the course of their work in remote communities, but that has decreased in recent time. Whether staff are involved in sealing operations or in shutting down fake and illegal dispensing stations, the police is there always to support them. The police has provided, and whenever called upon, maximum support to NNDPR staff. We want the police to continue to provide security for the regulatory body to ensure that activities related to adulterations are properly addressed. Inspector General, sir, in further strengthening this collaboration, we respectfully propose the establishment of a special petroleum downstream desk within the Nigerian Police Force headquarters, headed by a designated liaison officer. This desk will serve as a structured coordination point between the police, the regulators, the House committees, and key operators in the downstream sector, including energy providers. This unit is critical, bearing in mind that huge investments have flowed into the downstream sector, such as gas plants, gas stations, refineries, petrol stations, and storage systems. Nigeria is becoming the downstream energy force of West Africa, and the downstream capital of West Africa, and Africa's energy hub in the years to come. The potential capacity of these huge investments is turning Nigeria into an energy-producing nation, which means a heavy inflow of investment and resources in the revolution taking place in the downstream. Therefore, it must be jealously protected and properly guided, so that any challenges players in the downstream are having, be it union issue, supply issues, community issues, anything that will cause disruption in the downstream, are negotiated, discussed, and handled in order to continue to see an uninterrupted flow of investment, production, and distribution in the downstream sector. It will not be out of order for a unit to also focus on and interact with downstream players that they know where to call, and lawmakers know where to call, ensuring that this unit continues to monitor activities in the downstream and gather intelligence, as downstream security is key to national energy security, and address any issues that may arise. It will enable faster intelligence exchange, coordinated responses to infrastructure threats, and sustain institutional engagement on petroleum-related security matters. Such a dedicated mechanism will significantly enhance efficiency, accountability, and rapid intervention within the petroleum value chain. Inspector General, sir, the House Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream stands ready to support the Nigerian Police Force. We, the members of the National Assembly present here this afternoon, are of the view that the Nigerian police has to be properly funded. We must remind ourselves as a nation, including all of us in the leadership, that the sooner we get back to funding the police adequately, the better for our national security. A well-funded Nigerian police force is for the benefit of all. We are committed to advocating for improved operational funding. We will work to strengthen legal framework for infrastructure protection. We will facilitate interagency cooperation. We will support reforms necessary to secure Nigerian petroleum assets end-to-end. This partnership is not optional. It is essential for Nigeria's economic future. Distinguished officers, your service often go unseen. Your sacrifices are frequently uncelebrated. Yet the stability of our fuel supply, the protection of our national assets, and the confidence of investors and citizens alike rests heavily on your shoulders. And I must appreciate you, great officers, for reclaiming communities one torn by insurgency and helping life return to those communities. These efforts may go unnoticed by some people, but the committee sees the effort being made by the police and our security forces to ensure that life returns to normal in these communities. In conclusion, on behalf of the House of Representatives Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream, I salute your courage, I commend your professionalism, and I affirm our unwavering support. Together, we will secure Nigeria's energy backbone. Together, we will restore stability where it has been threatened. Together, we will ensure uninterrupted access to petroleum products for every Nigerian, urban and rural alike. Inspector General, sir, under your leadership, the Nigerian Police Force has reinforced its position, not just as a security institution, but as a guardian of Nigeria's economic lifeline. For that, you deserve our recognition. For that, you deserve our partnership. And for that, you deserve a resounding applause. Thank you, and God bless. Thank you, Ugochinyere, Chairman, Downstream.
I listened to the speech of the chairman, and I must say that this is the best speech I've listened to in the recent time. Before I make my response, I would like to make a request to the chairman to please make available a copy of this speech for us. And I also want to ask for your permission to enlarge the speech and display it right before my office as a testimony of our country. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, House of Rep Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream, Ikenga, Imo, Ugochinyere, the Deputy Chairman of the Committee, Honorable Dr. Aliyu Mustafa Abdullah. I was very fascinated watching members, honorable members of this committee introduce themselves one after the other. I particularly admire the pride with which you introduce yourself, emphasizing how peaceful your respective states are, starting from the honorable member representing peaceful Kano State to the honorable member representing peaceful Abia State, to the honorable member representing very peaceful Plateau State, and honorable member representing the very peaceful Oyo State, honorable members representing Rivers, very peaceful Rivers State, and the other honorable member representing very peaceful Rivers State. I recognize the honorable member representing peaceful Ondo State and peaceful Edo State, very peaceful Oyo State, very, very peaceful Imo State, extraordinarily peaceful Anambra State, of course, very peaceful Jigawa State, no doubt. And the peaceful Borno State, so sitting somewhere there. Yeah. I welcome you all. Members of the Force Management Team, the IGs here present, and other senior police officers here present. On behalf of officers and men of the Nigerian Police Force, I warmly welcome Mr. Chairman of this committee and all other members of this committee to Lucedet House, the headquarters of the Nigerian Police Force. We deeply appreciate your visit to the headquarters today, and we also appreciate your kind words of commendation regarding our efforts in safeguarding and protecting the downstream oil and gas assets in Nigeria. Your recognition and appreciation is both humbling and encouraging. The protection of critical national infrastructure, particularly within the petroleum sector, is a responsibility we take with the utmost seriousness. These assets are not mere installations. They are the vital arteries of our national stability. They are critical to our energy security and our public welfare. Over the past few years, the Nigerian Police Force has intensified intelligence-led policing, strengthened interagency cooperation, and enhanced our rapid response mechanism to safeguard the pipelines, protect other critical oil and gas facilities, as well as protect the national distribution network in Nigeria. We, however, recognize that the evolving security landscape in Nigeria demands continuous innovation. Threats to downstream assets are becoming increasingly sophisticated, And to effectively confront these challenges, legislative support to improve funding of the Nigerian police force, and indeed all security agencies in Nigeria, is indispensable. I am happy that Mr. Chairman has already emphasized the need for increased funding of the Nigerian police. We appreciate you and we recognize that your support for the Nigerian police force. We look forward to deepening our collaboration with the National Assembly, especially in the following areas: strengthening legal framework to deter economic sabotage, enhancing technological support for surveillance and monitoring, improving training and capacity building of our specialized units, supporting welfare of our officers deployed for the protection of critical infrastructure. Distinguished members, safeguarding downstream oil and gas infrastructure is not just a security mandate, it's a national economic imperative. Every facility protected represents preserved revenue, job security for Nigerians, and the stability of fuel supply across the country. I want to assure you of our unwavering commitment to professionalism, accountability, and interagency cooperation in fulfilling this duty. We believe that with your continued oversight and partnership, we'll be able to consolidate the gains that we've already made. I want to thank you once again for this visit, and I look forward to a deepened collaboration with the National Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. House of Representatives, National Assembly, Committee on Petroleum Resources, Downstream, Award of Excellence presented to IGP Egbetokun, PhD, Inspector General of Nigerian Police Force, for being a strategic partner in the protection and preservation of petroleum downstream infrastructure. Chairman, Committee on Petroleum Resources, Downstream, dated 18 February 2026.
Thank you very much, Please,